Hello everyone. This morning I'm at Pelverata Falls, which is my favourite local spot of mine for a long time. And I've made a video here before, but it wasn't very good, so I sort of got to redo it, I suppose, and make a better one. And that's what I'm doing today. It's about a 2-hour return walk to the waterfall, depending on the pace you hike. It takes me about 50 minutes each way, but it could take other people, you know, an hour and 15 or whatever. It's been pretty wet lately actually, but it's a beautiful day out today, so it should be a good day to see it. Actually be nice and sunny and there'll be lots of water. The creek, when I was driving along the road before, looked good, so we should be in for a good day. Well, I've reached the turn off from the 4-wheel drive track that you follow to this point onto the narrower Pelverata Falls track. Taking about 15-20 minutes to get here, and it's been quite muddy actually because of all the rain, so that's something to keep in mind if you're coming here in the winter. There's also likely to be some very wet sections further up, and actually parts of the track pretty much resemble a stream at some points further up, so yeah, it's definitely not a track to wear sand shoes on, I don't reckon. Real muddy. Yeah, this is the muddiness I was talking about earlier. This section of track is always really muddy, besides in the height of summer. And it would often be about ankle deep if not for a few strategically placed logs along there. Real slosher of a track. To the point where you can see Slippery Falls now across the valley. Looking pretty good today. It won't show up too well on the camera, I don't think, just because it's not really have a zoom and it's a fair ways off still. One of these days I'm going to try and get to the base of it, but that'd be a fair cross-country hike, I reckon. Only 5 minutes from Pelverata Falls now, but we're just coming to the rockiest section of the walk. Looks like they've installed a new railing here, which is a pretty good idea because this little route through here, it looks like the track and it just goes to a big drop off. So it's actually, I reckon, a pretty good idea by Parks and Wildlife to put that in. Very new. I was only here late last year and it wasn't there. Would have been just in the last month or two, I reckon. Oh, and more here. Yeah, so certainly doing some efforts to improve the track, which is a good thing for mine. Well, I've made it to the lookout to Pelverata Falls and it's looking spectacular today. Very good flow of water coming through. I'll give you a look now. I'll probably take a video on my phone because it can zoom a bit closer. But this is reasonably high flow, I would say, just based on the amount of times I've been here. I'm going to try, there's a bit of a track that goes down to the creek level and I'm going to try work my way upstream to the very bottom of the falls. Which is a location I've been to a couple of times, but never with this much water. I think it's not so good as the sun's position. As you can see, the cliffs are lit up, but the waterfall's in shadow, which makes it pretty hard to get a good photo. See, it looks amazing. And I'm going to head down around there, and that'll get me down to the bottom. Well, this is the view from creek level, looking at the Pelverata Falls in the distance. Lookout is just up there, and the creek keeps cascading down to meet up with the Slippery Creek, comes over from Slippery Falls. Probably worth taking a few photos here, and then I'll see you up at the falls, I reckon. Here we are, the very base of Pelverata Falls. Reportedly 114 metres high. I question that figure. I think it's more like 80, but it's still a very big waterfall. Get a nice bit of spray on me here. And you can look down to the valley and even see the lookout, probably not on the camera, but I can just see it from here. I'm going to try and get it out of this mist. It's very misty. So I'm on the final stretch of track now. I mean, this is, as I said before, one of my favourite waterfalls in Tasmania, and probably my favourite in southern Tasmania. You give yourself about 2 hours to do the hike, and look, it's a great waterfall in winter, but I wouldn't recommend coming here between December and April really most of the time, because it's dry for a lot of the summer, or just a trickle. But in winter it's really awesome.